The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Wednesday night as OP Racing Grand National Series is here for race number 2 of the 22 race season, right here in the balmy Daytona Super Speedway for the Crosby family 175. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. My name is K.R. Stolfus, and in the booth with me is an old broadcasting buddy, so he knows the rules. He already brought the popcorn. And don't ask where the butter went. None other than Travis Elliot. Travis, how you doing, bud?
KR, I'm doing fantastic. Oh, goodness, gotta shake the rust off a little bit. I'm doing fantastic tonight, KR. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing just fine. And I'll tell you what, some of these other guys are doing just fine too. As qualifying is underway, and we have a couple cars already putting in their time. Sebastian Marin has put that 23 on top of the leaderboard. Richard Sanchez second, and then Zach Lima, Sean Stevens, and Joey D round out your top 5 as the lap times are coming in very quick here. One of the things they changed this season was going to a 5-minute qualifying session, so everyone has to get their lap times in very quick as Mark Mann goes to the top.
Yeah, I'm looking at the track map here. I'm seeing a couple people not on track yet. I believe the 48 of Andrew Schroeder still has yet to qualify or make an attempt. But right now, KR, we just said Mark Mann took the top. Well, we got a new man up there by the name of Dude Conrad. Right now in P1, Anthony English with a sneaky P2 right now. So still have about 2 minutes of qualifying left. We'll see if anybody can sneak in there before the end of the session here.
Gabe Butler in the 88 across the start finish line, and Gabe Butler inside the top 10, just good enough for 9th place.
The interesting thing about qualifying is, especially now, because pretty sure we use dynamic weather. And I didn't mean to cut you off there, KR, but depending on when you go out, the wind can really affect your run down the back straight.
Okay, well, we'll cover that more in just a little bit, but right now we got to go to the national anthem, so no one go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back once again as the drivers are peeling off from pit lane. So we have to get through tonight's starting lineup for the Crosby family. 175, Dude Conrad in the pole position with Jeff Crosby in the 33. To his outside, Anthony English and Richard Kuhn, row number 2. Row number 3, Zach Workman and Mark Mann. Row 4, Sebastian Marin, Stanley Jr. Row number 5 will be Richard Sanchez and none other than Jimmy Reynolds in the 17.
In row number 6, the 14 of Vicente Guerrero and Daniel Holloway. In row number 7, the 1 of Zachary Lima and the 88 of Gabe Butler. Row number 8, you got the 77 of Dave Booth and 27 of Sean Stevens. Row number 9, Joe Delavecchia and Cody Nagels. And in row number 10, you got Donald Sadusky and James Mayer.
DK Anderson and JD Crow, row number 11. Eric Laurie, David Overstreet, row 12. Row 13, Sean McCara, Bob Lacavera, Donald Stewart and Dave Hunt, row 14. Row 15, Andy Brigante and Nate Warren.
And in row number 16, you got PJ Cox and Peter DeBorgia. Row number 17, you got Pujanowski Hughes and Logan Helton. And then in row number, what is that, 19? I don't know. That number's getting too high there, Care. But Joshua Gaithright, Charles M. Johnson, Crosby Sr., Holloway, and Wilkinson, and Andrew Schroeder. We're getting the green flag right now, KR.
There you go. We barely got through the grid a little bit. We maybe missed a few, but green flag is out. Dude Conrad, Jeff Crosby, side by side for turn number 1. Here we go. 70 laps at Daytona for race number 2 in a 22 race season. Already trying to go 3 wide. That is the 23 of Sebastian Marin, and that is one of my race notes here tonight as we are trucking it at Daytona. 15 races left to go in the playoff, and that is a huge bit of information because it seems like a lot, but when there are 16 drivers who will make it into the playoffs and 16 races, it is going to come down to crunch time very, very soon. You have got to make that third lane work, and already the 23 is trying it out, working his way up there. We will have one stage at halfway, and the trucks have one fast repair available to them here tonight. As Dude Conrad and the 33 of Crosby find themselves still side by side. Travis, that 23 is up in that third lane, but he doesn't have a whole lot of help just yet.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably just trying to figure out what can work and who's going to work with him possibly. It's better to try things early on. A lot more room for recovery. As you can see, he's moving forward ever so slightly, and especially when that middle lane, when the 47 starts to get warm there, and he's going to have a whole heap of cars jump up there behind him. I believe that's Zach Workman in the 19. No, that's Daniel Holloway in the 21. It's Joe Delavecchia behind him. So going to have a lot of steam as more cars looks like they're about to join that top there and try to make that work, but they're not very connected right now.
4 cars, 4 trucks in the 3rd lane. Dude Conrad hanging tough down on that yellow line. 40 trucks registered for the session. Charles Johnson, Joshua Gaithray, and Dean Wilkinson have not rolled out to the grid, and they have not turned a lap just yet. We'll see if they get out there or not. But with them missing the first 3 laps, it's going to be hard to come back from that one.
It is, especially like you said earlier, with the fact that it's a 16 race season, 16 spots to get into the playoffs or the chase, whatever you want to call it. But if you get 40 car field as Sebastian Marion clears that middle lane, saw a couple laps ago he was trying to make that high side work by himself, but he's just shows that strength in numbers can make that high line work. But yeah, the amount of people that you get, the H dropping to the back, I don't know if he had an issue or if he just wants to get out of Dodge.
He is dropping back very quickly.
Yeah, he's dipping, and he's not going to be able to get back up on the track. Yeah, he's slowing down, it looks like. I don't know what's going on with that. I didn't hear anything.
From the race lead to the tail end of the field goes the 8. Let's see if he gathers it back up and can work his way forward. But that is going to give the lead to the 23 of Sebastian Marion in the middle lane. Anthony English in the 44 down on the bottom. And now your top side driver running high, wide, and handsome, saying hello to the wall. That is none other than the 21 of Daniel Holloway. So 37 cars out on the speedway. Fastest lap of the race so far going to Jeff Crosby Sr. And you got to wonder, Jeff Crosby Sr., fastest lap of the race, biggest donation for this race. Maybe NASCAR's turning a blind eye to the extra cubic inches in that engine.
Something seems to be awry. Looks like Junior is about to clear the bottom lane. Oh, just White didn't get there. We are 3 wide, 4 rows deep, and it looks like we're going to make that 5, maybe even 6 here in a moment. But hard racing early on. Love to see it. It makes these races go by a lot quicker when you have people out here looking to have some fun. The 21's trying to make that high side work right now. That middle lane seems quite fast. Whenever you get, looks like the 33 is going to get clear. If he's going to drop, that'll be the answer. And he does drop to the bottom in front of the 23. He's going to lead the inside line going into turn 1. And there's another Crosby family member of the title sponsor of this race tonight, KR. Looks like they're trying to show out.
Deepens.
I think we need to get these trucks checked, as the 33 is going to lead this lap here and get that bonus point. And KR, that middle line to me looks like the line to be in, at least early on in the race. The race can change depending on how the track is and how the cars feel,
Yeah, that middle lane does seem to have all the momentum, and once you clear, you drop down to the inside. Travis, you talked about in qualifying having the wind change down the backstretch. What's that like in race session versus qualifying?
I'm probably the worst person to ask about this because I'm awful at qualifying. But it's not a whole lot, I would say, in race. It's more so arrow between each car, I would say. You can kind of see the cars wiggling back and forth and side by side. And you have all the kinds of drag and side force and side draft and all that stuff. But as you can see, that top line trying to pinch down, and they're going to get a little bit of a run off of that because they're loading up that middle lane, and they're just holding even right now. It looks like the 23 just jumped off a little bit. It looks like the 14's getting ahead of steam. Big push by the 19 of Zach Workman. believe that's the 19 Zach Workman.
Numbers are already rubbed off the 19 of Zach Workman's truck. Maybe he's not the only 19 out here tonight. How many 19s we got out here? Who's running this show? All right, so we are working lap 9 of 70. Green flag pit stop's going to be happening here in just a few laps as they make their way down the backstretch. A lot of wiggling going on out there as they are 3 wide. Travis, these guys trying to work this out and stretch this opening stage, which will end at the completion of lap 35. They're trying to stretch this first fuel run so that maybe they have a shot at, winning the stage. But how do you weigh winning a stage versus track position?
I would say on Wednesday it's a lot more important, honestly. With the only having of one stage, that's your only chance of getting that little bit of extra bonus points. Besides, leading lap and having the most laps led, I believe. So that I think, especially on Wednesday nights, stage points are far more important because there's not as many to go around. Even
contact in the front.
Big wreck.
Cody Nagels, as we were on board with the 6, and the green flag stays out, and now the yellow flag comes out. Cody Nagels gave us a beautiful shot of that one as the leaders got in trouble. Yellow flag flies for the first time, and now everyone is going to have to hit pit road. Let's see if we can't back this up just a little bit.
It just looks like a little bit of contact between the 14 and the 21, and that caused them to get sucked into one another and just clog the racing surface up.
Man, they just started crashing cars, trucks going everywhere. Sadusky involved in the 19. Anthony English in the 44 goes for a slow spin.
Old Crosby Jr. almost flipped it, went end over end, but kept all 4 tires on the ground once he took a little 2-wheel ride. And I believe that's going to make the 63 of Logan Helton your race leader.
Logan Helton, first one on the pit road. Take one more look at this. Just getting very tight to each other. The 21 pinched down on the 14, and the wind maybe was sucking him in. Maybe they had contact there and he just couldn't get off of him. But that triggered from the front row.
Yeah, it was definitely a little too close. Might have had a little help from the old iRacing netcode. But yeah, you definitely, when these cars get or these trucks, sorry, when you get a little bit of aero on them, especially pushing and stuff like that, they can get a little wiggly. Sometimes they can lose a little bit of turn, and anything's possible when you're driving that close to one another.
All right, with that being said, guys, we're going to step away for a quick little break. No one go anywhere. We'll be back to bring you the end of stage number 1.
Racing, you wanted the best, you got them 4 abreast, often imitated, never duplicated, the creep.
Welcome back as the green flag is out once again. Logan Helton and Cody Nagels lead this field to the green flag. And I do have to give a shout out to everyone in YouTube chat. Thank you very much, guys, for saying hello and chatting it up. Jeff Crosby Jr. and Mr. Fritchie. Thank you very much, guys. And of course,
Hello.
Miss Michelle.
Oh,
Do what?
big checkup on the inside. I
Where?
was saying
They're
the
checking up
the
already.
Fritchie guy.
Jeez, that Fritchie guy. Does he even know what he's doing?
I don't know.
Does he
I don't
even know
what
he's not on the track?
I mean, you would think if he's able to watch this race, he'd be out here racing, you know?
Oh, jeez. And of course, we gotta say hello to Miss Mara and Alan Fritch. How you doing, Alan? Thanks very much for joining us tonight. Oh,
You know, I'm pretty sure
Oh.
Mara is probably one of the oldest OP supporters. Or should I say,
most
oldest Mark
consistent?
Mann supporter.
I don't even think she's missed a race when Mark Mann has.
I think you might be right.
Maybe we need to get her up here in the broadcast booth.
Special guest.
All right,
Oh,
Logan
man.
Helton, your race leader, Sean Stevens, following in his back bumper, and then BK Anderson in the 32, leading the outside lane. That will make Michelle happy. Cody Nagels in the 6, pushing on that 32. Kevin, if you're here, that'll make you happy as you got your team drivers stacking up in the outside lane.
Got a whole bunch of cars in this pack. You had a kind of a split up at the beginning of the race, I would say, with the people who started from pit road or dropped to the back. But now it looks like we got the whole field around here, except for a couple stragglers. I believe it's the 23. See if I can find Sebastian Marin, the 82 of Dan Harrington, and the 35 of Nate Warren. Those are the only 3 cars that are not in this main pack as we are counting up the laps to stage. And I still think they might have to do one stop possibly. These trucks do not get good gas mileage. They're not good for the environment, but that is okay because we like to go fast here. A little bit of a checkup on the inside.
I'll tell you what, if these trucks driving 500 miles gonna ruin the environment, then I don't want to live on this weak planet. Daniel Holloway has the fastest lap of the race now at a 47.32. That 21 Hershey's machine, one of the faster trucks as he led earlier here tonight and now sets fast lap as he is mired deep in the pack. Logan Helton and BK Anderson continue to lead at the front of the field because it's kind of hard to lead at the back of the field, Travis.
You know, despite popular beliefs, when you're in first, you are in fact the leader, as they are about to lap who is the 9 of Nate Warren. He's going to go 1 lap down that'll leave him and Daniel Dan Harrington, not Holloway. We were just talking about Holloway, being the only cars one lap down, and the next one up will be the 23 of Sebastian Marin. But yeah, looks like these guys are calmed down a little bit more. No 3 wide for the first 10 laps of the race for side by side. Got a nice string of cars out in the back of the field. As looks like the 32. BK Anderson's going to lead that lap there, be a new leader going into lap number 19.
As they continue to run side by side, drivers last on pit road on lap 11. 35 laps are scheduled distance for stage number 1, so they are going to have to hit pit road one more time. That's going to be a stretch, maybe with some help from one caution, but 1 or 2 cautions. But I really don't think they got enough in the tank to make it that far.
No, if they have a caution, probably within the next couple laps, they could probably make a stop and make it. But I don't think they're going to be able to run this one out. It'd be stretching that gas pretty far, as we are still side by side. Logan Helton with a commanding lead on that middle lane. They're going to make a run back to the outside. Not a whole lot happening though. That inside line not as formed as the middle. You can kind of see that by the 32 gaining a little bit more speed as they are about to lap the 23 of Sebastian Marin also.
Sebastian Marin goes to the high side as he goes 1 lap down. So an early race contender now has a hole to dig out of.
And also
Logan
Dan
Helton.
Harrington going 2 laps down.
Well, all of that doesn't seem to be slowing down Logan. Fresh off of his Monday night championship win, Logan Helton seems to be picking up right where he left off, and that's out in front of the field.
I couldn't imagine any other place he would be, honestly. Comes out here and wants to race and wants to win every week. So, of course, like you said, you can't win the race when you're in the back. And he's up here leading the race, and he's gonna go down to pit road. And there we go. Start of green flag stops as that first group hits pit road. The 63, the 40, the 95. All hitting pit lane to get fuel. No tires, I'm presuming.
So on the pit lane they come. BK Anderson assumes the race lead. Now, when will he come down pit road? That's a good question, but Logan Helton down and away, and he is gaining speed. He is going to work his way around the apron. We'll see who's going to come out with the race lead. More often than not, the group of cars or trucks that hit pit road first are the ones that come away with the race lead. And here comes BK Anderson. He's going to abandon his teammate Cody Nagels as Cody stays out on the racetrack.
Yeah, it was just unfortunate. They're probably trying to get something to get the 6th there down, but just couldn't get it in time. So it looks like we're going to have at least 3 groups of cars going down pit road together. We'll see where the 63 of Logan Helton and his group, where they come out. Looks like they're coming out of turn 4 right now with a full head of steam.
All right, so Cody Nagels is your race leader. We'll have to hit pit road before this stage is over, as we're coming around to complete lap 23. Start lap 24. And he is going to peel off for pit lane. That leaves Sean Stevens, Donald Sadusky, Andrew Schroeder, and Jimmy Reynolds as the only drivers who have not hit pit road just yet.
The Logan Helton group has dwindled down to 3 cars of the 40 of Peter DeBorge and the 95 of James Mayer. 63 going to jump to the high side. I don't know why he would do that. Maybe trying to keep the car cool because they have a 3-car breakaway. It's going to be tough for them to keep this momentum. Looks like he kind of lost a little bit of momentum there. That might allow the 44 of Anthony English to catch up to him and get to his bumper. Won't be before long before that pack, that single file right behind him, gets right up next to him as the 60 Cody Nagel is going to get passed right here on the apron. And the 40 is going to assume the race lead. The provincial race lead. Sean Stevens is Donald Sadusky are still the leaders.
Yeah, Sadusky last on pit road on lap 12. He's going to get swallowed up by the field before too much longer. Jimmy Reynolds joining him in that battle to try and stay on the lead lap and stretch their fuel as far as they can. And it looks like maybe the 19 has already burned his fast repair, or I should say the 025, depends on how you want to look at that truck, but the numbers are no longer scratched off.
Yeah, I think he was the car behind the 14 there on that first caution. Is the 63 is going to drop to the back of this lead pack, but yeah, I think the provincial 19, who was also the 025 of Donald Sadusky, I think he was in that first caution, that big one. As we are 3 wide up in the front and looking pretty. The leaders are on the middle of the backstretch. Oh, big wreck up front.
Big crash up in front of the field, as this was the group that was going to take over the race lead as things cycled through, but now they all have to hit pit road and try and work on their front ends, back ends, side ends. Big jump.
Yeah, that looks like it was a little bit of maybe a bad bump on the 33 on the 44 of Anthony English. It's hard to tell though, because he was kind of squirrely to begin with, but definitely didn't help getting bumped like that. But that caused a big pile up on that front stretch, and it looks like Jimmy Reynolds and Donald Sadusky, looks like they're pretty smart right now.
Yeah, they were able to get through that by virtue of being on the other side of the racetrack.
That will do it. But yeah, they might be able to sneak out some track position here and get some sneaky stage points. It's gonna be tough though, because they'll have to go down pit road. Presumably a lot of people were caught up in that wreck too. It looked like a pretty sizable chunk of the field. But what are you gonna do when you have 40 cars? 36 cars, 37 cars start the race tonight.
Yeah, that's quite a few cars. Just a few. So Jimmy and Donald hit pit road. The 04 Mark Mann is involved in another incident here tonight. Now making his way onto pit road. The 40 of Peter DeBorgia, last on pit lane on lap 21. So I don't think he will come back down. He will take over the race lead. Jeff Crosby Jr. and Jim Mayer also stay out.
Yeah, Jimmy and Donald, as long as Donald's out of the pit lane right now, gonna get a nice little chunk of track position for being patient there and not hitting pit road immediately with everybody. Looks like Jimmy's gonna line up behind the 95 of James Mayer there, and everyone's favorite Jimmy Reynolds right behind him. So
Sebastian Mayer getting the wave around. So that's good. Sebastian Marin back on the lead lap.
Yeah, it's a relief for him wanting to get back to racing for position. I wonder if some people who were a lap down got caught up in that and caused them to lose their lucky dog.
It's entirely possible.
have to go back and count how many cars were in that wreck before the end of the race. There's enough people. Oh man. Looks like the 40 of Peter DeBorge is going to be your leader. He's going to take the inside on this restart as the lights are off on the... Is that a Chevy Silverado pace truck?
It is a Chevy Silverado.
Jeff Crosby Jr., the 33, is going to be starting on the outside. The 95 of James Mayer starting on the inside of row 2. And there's the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds starting on the outside of row number 2. So definitely a good strategy call behind by Jimmy and Donald there. Paying off. Avoid the carnage. Get in front for the end of the stage.
And sometimes it just plays out how you plan, and other times you just can't even get a break, and no matter what you do, you just keep falling further and further behind.
I think if anybody can probably resonate with that is probably Jimmy Reynolds. I mean, he always has some of the worst luck, so it's good to see that he's getting a little break here. Hopefully, I just didn't give him the broadcaster's curse. Probably did, but sorry, Jimmy. Just so you know.
Oops.
Looks like we're going to be having, what is that, 6 to go till the end of stage, so it's going to probably be white knuckle racing this next couple laps, KR.
Hold on to your hats, folks, because they're about ready to get after it. Right? I mean, the stage here in early season, every point counts. Got to get after it. Still have quite a few cars in this race, or trucks, I should say, more accurately. As a green flag comes out, we start lap 30 of 70. Keep in mind, this one ends at the completion of lap 35. Peter DeBorgia in the 40, Jim Mayer in the 95, the first two trucks down on the inside lane. That's the 33 of Jeff Crosby out in front on the outside lane as the 40 makes a move to the outside. That's the first time we've seen someone do that.
Yeah, it's surprising that more people don't do that. You know, in here, seeing that the middle line has a lot of momentum, especially when you have cars all together. That middle lane just has so much momentum. It surprised me if Peter jumped back down to the bottom if he gets clear, because it looks like having some people look up to the third lane there. I believe that was the 6 of Cody Nagel sniffing the air, seeing if there's any run there. Because we're still side by side. 95 of James Mayer still leading. It's the 40 of Peter DeBorgia. It's a big head of steam. Not going to be quite enough to clear. Not even close, but we're side by side. Wondering who's going to be the first person to make that move to the outside and take it through wide and see if they can make something work. And there's the 6 of Cody Nagels, like I said earlier. He's all by himself, though. Nobody to help him. He might get some help here soon, but it might not be soon enough. As the 40 of Peter DeBorge is going to lead this lap here, going into lap number 33.
New fast lap. Zach Lima turning the fastest lap of this race so far at a 47.09. Zach asking how the party bus went, and the party bus was fun. We got on the bus about 2:45 in the afternoon, and then we were on the bus till we got to dinner at 4:15, and then went to dinner at a very nice steakhouse. I ate and drank probably over a couple $100 worth of items, which I was told specifically to do, so I did my best. And then we went to a play because I am a sophisticated individual, and I go to plays now, Travis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
go to... What play was that?
Pretty Woman.
Ooh.
Yes.
I'm saying that to that, and also the 95 jumping up in front of the 40, causing a massive checkup in that middle lane. That's the second time somebody jumped up to the middle. And it seems like people are kind of
That's how you
figuring
know
out
that middle lane's faster. They're trying to throw a block and get that momentum from the middle lane.
Yeah, it looks like he did it a little too late to the point where it made the line kind of scared themselves. But you can see the 40 just shoving the 95 as best as he can. Now the 63 of Logan Helton's right back up there once again, as we are 3 wide. I believe that's the 8 of Mr. Dude Conrad with the 071 of Eric Laurie, your last season's champion, by the way. Trying to make that work as we're just slogging it back and forth. The 95 getting a huge run, not gonna be quite clear enough to take the bottom, but he's gonna
do it anyways.
clear that. That was oh, he got it.
Contact as they were coming to the white flag for the stage.
Oh, that's massive.
Big junk once again at the front of this field. There's one truck trying to mate with another truck.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is how baby trucks are made.
So yellow flag comes out once again. And Zach wants to know how my steak was. I got the porterhouse, 30-ounce porterhouse, and it was epic. Epic with a capital E.
There we go. Looks like the 40 gonna look out there. I believe that'll be stage here, Care. So I believe your stage winner is gonna be the 40 of Peter Borgia. I don't want to jinx it, but I believe that'd be the case.
All right, so I was wondering what happened to Sean McCarra in the 71 that he went flying into this incident. And I have my answer. And it's thank goodness for iRacing. This truck in the middle of a crash accelerates at Mach 1000, turning 190 billion G-forces, killing the driver instantly, because that's what happens in a real crash. So the 71 trying to get through, he's running about 10 miles an hour here, and then wham, all of a sudden he's doing 1,000 miles an hour into the car in front of him. Way to go, iRacing.
He was doing about 65 miles an hour, then got hit. He was going about 110. So that's happened to me in the old Indy car. I was running laps around Indianapolis, and I scraped the wall.
Speaking
and it
of,
shot
you
me to
remember
the
the death flips that Indy cars would get?
Yes.
You you just sat there and spun midair like
you
a
can't
top
do anything.
until the race ended.
I have clips of running with a friend of mine. You know him, the 84 of Aspen Belvin.
Wait, you have friends?
I do have friends.
Oh,
I mean,
wait.
that kind of makes me sad that
is it the only way he was your friend is because he can't stay in this league anymore because of you?
Ooh, yeah, I guess so.
Oh, it happens.
Yeah.
All right, continue your story. I'm sorry, I'm being rude.
No, but we were running laps, doing a Delar dash at Indy, scraped the wall, and instead of slowing down, it shot me to the sky, and I was literally doing about 1,000 miles an hour. Not even joking. I think I was going 900 miles an hour, and then it reset my car.
Nice.
Yeah, it was quite humorous.
Okay, so we were watching the replay here. Confirmed Peter DeBorgia stage winner?
I would assume.
All right, well, congratulations, Peter.
Into the pit.
Lights are out on the safety vehicle. Peter DeBorgia, our officially unofficial stage 1 winner. No one lets me know anymore. I used to have race control. Now it's just it's all a guessing game now.
I would go ask him, but I don't think I have the permissions to.
Nah, just stay here. It's all right. We'll pretend that we interviewed him and he said something like, yeah, I gotta think the truck's behind me. I gotta think the truck's in front of me. And something extra life, dark side.
Something extra life, something smart, because Peter's an intelligent person.
He's pretty intelligent.
And me making some sort of Tommy Wiseau remark to him, because he would probably be the only person that would laugh at that.
See? There you go. Interview done. Good job, Peter.
Thanks, Peter. Appreciate it. I'm gonna send you back down to your. And we're gonna have after that lovely interview with the 40 of Peter DeBorgia, we're going to have him and Jeff Crosby leading this race on this restart after stage. The 33 leading us to the green flag with the 40 of Peter DeBorgia, the 63 of Logan Helton, and the 95 of James Mayer up here. And there's a nice face to see up here. The 15 of Jeff Crosby Sr. Third car on the inside line there.
Pretty sure that engine is illegal, but we can't talk about it because he paid us not to.
Yeah, I don't know what we're talking about. But we're green here, going back to the second stage of the race, or would it be the final stage, I guess. The 33 is leading the inside line. And KR, a little update on that after that caution. We're down to 24 cars on the lead lap. Started with, I believe, 37 or 38. I can't remember what
37. 37 cars, trucks, took the green flag. And as you said, we're down to 24 on the lead lap. We're working the second half of this race.
Some would say the home stretch of this race is the 40 Peter DeBorgia is going to get pushed by the 63 of Logan Helton. Now, hopefully, after those two massive wrecks, they'll kind of calm down here, especially since it's pretty much just about survival and making it to the end now.
Can you make it to the end, Travis, in this race?
No.
Like,
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know. It's gonna be tough.
there's a lot of torn up race cars. I have a feeling that they're aiming for us here up all the way up top of the stands.
I mean,
they're gonna try and send a truck up here.
I hear Sean McCarra's got something about that. Something about launching trucks. I don't know what he's doing, but I don't feel safe up in this booth. And I believe
what a good time.
that is 24. Gonna go, I believe, another lap down. I remember who the 24 is. Of Stanley Jr. All right. Looks like Stanley is 2 laps down now. So a little update. The cars that are 1 lap down are Mark Mann. Sorry, Laura. Nate Warren, Dan Harrington, Dave Hunt, Cody Nagels, and then Cody Nagels, who just went 2 laps down. And then your other 2 lap down people are Stanley Jr. and Andy Brigante. After that, everybody is already out of the race. The 025 and or 19 of Donald Sadusky, the 1 of Zach Lima. And it looks like Sean McCarra has pulled it behind the wall also for the night. The 052 of Joe Dellavecchia, the 44 of Anthony English, and the 46 of David Overstreet. So, pretty sizable chunk of cars not in the race anymore, KR.
Yeah, quite a few of them have an uphill battle as we look out the back of the Merry Christmas 007 James Bond, Mr. Hughes, finding himself in 15th spot. So as the race continues on, with the trucks that have been taken out, there's a little bit more room on the racetrack. Maybe we won't see quite as many big-time crashes happening, but everyone wants to lead every lap and win every race, so it's gonna be hard to say one way or another.
That is definitely the case. When you have guys who are hungry up there, like the 63, who want to lead every lap and win every race if they can, anything's possible. I mean, you got the, I believe that's the 23 Sebastian Marin, 5th car on the inside line. He was a lap down earlier, so he's clawed his way back. You got a whole group of guys who are never give up attitude, and that's definitely the case right now that you see. I don't think the wrecks are going to be done for the night, especially since all of them have happened up front and none like mid-pack. They've all been literally front row. I don't think you're safe anywhere on this track right now, KR.
I don't feel safe.
You feel safe?
No.
I don't either. I fear for my life currently.
We go on board with Andrew Schroeder as he is just inside the top 10, finding himself in 8th place, 4th car in line on the outside lane. Guys, if you haven't done so yet, please let us know who you think is going to win this race, and let us know who you are still cheering for. A lot of trucks out of this race, so maybe your driver that you had picked on lap 1 is not the same one you have picked right now. So feel free to let us know who you think's gonna win. Alan, Zach Fritsch is not in the race, but you can still cheer for him. It is allowed.
Anybody but Fritsch.
I think anyone but Fritsch would win this race.
I would put money on that, actually. What do you think the DraftKings split on that is?
I don't think there's a bet on that.
Ah, too bad. Thought there was gonna be like some sort of a I don't know betting terms, but
I think that would be a 1-to-1 payout.
So if I give you $1, you give me $1 back.
Yes.
I mean, I'll take it. It's guaranteed. That's free money, baby.
Sure it is.
We are still side by side up front. Need these guys to do something more exciting than this. They've definitely toned it down since the beginning. They took the reverse approach to storytelling and started with the climax at the beginning, and now we're on the downhill part. But the field's slowly coming together. I think we have I don't want to call it a second group, but it's a handful of cars being led by the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds. He has the 5 of JD Crow, the 8 of Dude Conrad, the 510 of Richard Sanchez behind him. A couple cars behind him also. So I wonder if they're back there by choice, or if they just want to. They just kind of lost the draft maybe after that restart. Something might have happened.
And with as many crashes as was happening on the front, front row, front 2 rows, how could you not want to hang out at the back and try and log some laps? And looks like maybe for right now they're falling behind just a little bit, but not too much.
As long as they don't let it get excessive, I don't think they're done wrecking for the night. As I believe that is the 53 of Dave Hunt. I think he's going 3 laps down now. A little bit of a checkup between the 11 there, behind the 48. This field's kind of looks like it's kind of like breaking up, or they're just not very formed up, or they're being very cautious about checkups right now, which is very possible. Only 2 cars on that outside line, really. The 13 of Andy Brigante, who was not for position, up here trying to get one of his laps back the hard way, possibly. The outside line not really a factor at the moment, as the 33 of Jeff Crosby going to lead another lap here tonight, as it looks like Brigante is starting to get up to the bumper of the 14. It's good to see that the 14 recovered after that wreck at the beginning of the race there, KR. And looks like the 21 also did too. He's behind the 32 of, I believe that is Nate Warren. No, it's not Nate Warren. That is BK Anderson. Sorry, BK. And
Nate Warren's in the 9. 35. He's on pit road. He's in the 9. Yeah, there's Nate Warren. Hi, Nate.
See, these guys running different numbers in there, and it's messing me all up.
It's getting confusing because the numbers don't match and our timing and scoring what's on the side of their trucks. It's rough. It's a rough life to be a broadcaster.
And you have multiple number 9s and multiple number 19s.
Right? It's confusing from time to time. Donald Stewart, however, is the last truck on the lead lap. He is in 22nd spot. He is riding around with Dan Harrington. Harrington is not on the lead lap. Man, that old Demon Tech 82. Make sure you check out his stream over on Twitch, Demon Tech 82. And if you stop by, tell him KR sent you. Give him a hello for me and like and subscribe to that 82. He's always streaming. He's digging hard, working hard on the interwebs like the rest of us. And now the IRS is coming after us, so it's fine. It's whatever.
Speaking of working hard, I believe the 19 Zach Workman also streams.
Does.
So go give him a follow. And I think the 40 of Peter DeBorgia also.
Nuh-uh. The 40 of Peter DeBorgia?
Yeah, that's what I heard. I hear he has a
PJ?
I hear he has a fantastic emo, which is one of my favorites. I don't know if you're familiar with Baseball KR.
What is that?
But he has a Joe Kelly emote, which is just absolutely chef kiss. As we're gonna hit pit road.
Ooh, very early here. I thought they were maybe gonna make it.
Sending it.
Ooh, the 19 of Zach Workman really hustled it on the pit road. Travis, I'm gonna be honest. I was not ready for that. I thought they had at least 2 more laps to go before they would hit pit lane to try and get to the end of this race. But these guys have hit pit lane here early. They have 1 more stop to make for sure before they can get to the end of the race.
Yeah, I was same as you. I was not expecting that. That definitely caught me off guard. I wonder, they have a chunk of drivers also, so I wonder if they can make it from here, if they're banking on a caution possibly happening. But yeah, that second group hitting pit lane. Actually, pretty much everybody else is hitting pit road, so they know something that we do not.
That's it. I'm used to that. It's a common problem. Everyone else coming down pit road, so we will complete our green flag pit stop cycle in just 2 laps. Richard Kuhn in the 47, officially the race leader, but now that's going to change very quickly as everyone down and away. Jim Mayer now is our race leader, but watch that outside lane as here comes the drivers who pitted early. They are at full speed. And the ones who pitted, that is Jeff Crosby Jr. in the 33. The 19 is Zach Workman, who got on the pit road very aggressively. Looks like that is going to work out into his favor, as in that group of trucks, he is the second one.
Yeah, he got on pit road extremely well, and Sebastian also made a huge send. And I think he might have hurt himself a little too much by gaining a little too much time at a pit road. And you can see that he's now not leading that line like he was probably hoping to. As you can see, that second group that pit got formed up nice and orderly and quickly, and that's paying off for them. And now they have a full lap of fuel over that first group. And if they got to pit again, KR, it's got to be soon, or they're going to try to stretch this as late as possible.
Yeah, I'm not sure when you would want to come down pit road here. Maybe somewhere around with 15 laps to go. That way you have enough fuel for sure to get through a couple green-white checkered attempts. We will use 2 green-white checkered attempts if we need to. So that's kind of how I'd look at it.
And with everybody being single file, I'm wondering if the case is they're going to pit sooner than later, like we assume. Very tough to say. You still got people trying to make that outside line work. You have the 14 of Vicente and 23 of Sebastian, and I believe that's the 48 of Andrew Schroeder. All three lined up in that middle lane, trying to make up some time to try to gain some track position for when we're assuming this next bout of pit stops is going to happen. And now we also have 21 cars on the lead lap.
Sebastian Marin, fastest lap of the race, 46.99. The first driver down into the 46-second bracket. And now, just like that, Andy Brigante, who is not on the lead lap, turning a 46.62. So the 13 trying to hustle his way forward with 16 laps to go. Can he get back on the lead lap?
He's gonna have to do some hard driving here if he wants to do that. He's 2 laps down, but I mean anything's possible. He could get lucky and have somebody get caught up in an incident or anything like that. He's just kind of minding his own business. He's in a really good spot, honestly, to avoid really any contact. As long as nobody comes up the track and hits him, he's got plenty of space in front and behind. So he's definitely in an opportune spot to make that happen. Definitely the water is calm, though, that's for sure.
Your race leader is the 95 of Jim Mayer as he and Vicente Guerrero battle down the back stretch. The 14, though, has the momentum, and he is going to slide down to the inside. Sebastian Marin in the 23, who took advantage of getting back on the lead lap, had the free pass, and now running inside the top 5 with a chance at winning this race. How about that change in fortune?
Probably feels pretty good for him, but with the way that the 14 cleared there, it makes me think that they're trying to save fuel with how easily they're able to clear. And you can see that there's a gap between the 95 and the 63 and the 40, and the gap is even bigger to BK and Peter. So wondering if they're trying to stretch that fuel. You got about 13 laps to go from here, so it's definitely gonna be close if they're trying to do that.
So Vicente, your race leader, the 14, trying to hold off the 95 and the 23. It's going to be a tall order as they are coming onto pit road with 14 laps to go. Sebastian Marin, Andrew Schroeder, and Richard Kuhn, your top 3 now. This group right here, that has Andy Brigante in it. Brigante, multiple laps down. I don't think he could get back on the lead lap here. Trying to look at the math, and I can't do math very well.
Numbers aren't everybody's forte here, including mine. But it looks like that second group right there. No, only 2 cars, 3 cars. Get this 23 of 48. Get a little too close. A little too close for inside. A little too close for comfort on the inside wall there. Locked them up. That's probably not going to help Sebastian there. He might get out of pit road ahead of the people he pit with.
Yeah, and that's for sure going to slow you down on the getting back up to speed part.
Yeah, you got the leaders coming right here to the start finish. It's gonna be that's very unfortunate for the 23. He might be able to get up to speed just as they're passing him, so it might not be as bad. That's the perks of being good on and off pit road. You can make up time for anything that happens, and it looks like he might just ever so slightly be able to hang on to these guys here.
James Bond hits his pit stop, gets a little crossed up, able to hold on to it. Bob Lacavera in the 11 into his pit lane. And now we will look at the pack who has already hit pit road. The Gente Guerrero and Peter DeBorgia running side by side with 11 laps to go.
Yeah, your actual, I don't want to call them actual leaders, but your, they're the actual leaders of this race. I would say it's the lead pack. Everybody else who hasn't pit or are banking on a caution, they're still haven't pit and they're still out there. So looking at these people up here, 3 wide for lead of the race essentially. 14 of Vicente Guerrero doing a good job of leading that outside line, inside line, and they're 3 wide back here, KR, for what you would think would be the end of the race, but currently it's for P12, but this is the lead pack right.
A little bit of housekeeping to do here. We have 29 trucks in this race. 37 of them took the green flag. Last truck out there on the speedway, that is the 27 of Sean Stevens. He has been riding around by himself for quite a while now. He has not given up, but I don't think he's going to get back on the lead lap anytime soon, and that's a tough break for the 27 of Sean Stevens. Vicente Guerrero, Peter DeBorgia, Jeff Crosby, Logan Helton, and Jim Mayer, your top 5, but they are 3 wide as they make their way into turn number 1. So Travis, this race starting to get a little bit more intense. We have been seeing these guys destroy each other in stage number 1. The field thinned out just a little bit, and now they are racing hard for a win. Do you think we get to the end of this race without a green-white checkered attempt?
It's possible, but you know, these guys are all racing hard. You just saw the 63 Logan Helton just absolutely push the 33 there all the way to the front of that middle lane, like it was like the middle lane was standing still almost. So with the amount of speed that's on the track and currently coming up on somebody 3 wide, and it looks like they're gonna stay on the bottom, anything's possible, KR, because we are 3 wide, 8 to go, coming up to the end of this race. And this is the white knuckle time. This is where you've been racing the entire day, entire night to get here. And you can see the 23 of Sebastian Marin. Like I said earlier, he's going to be right at the back of this lead pack. So probably a sigh of relief for him, especially now he has the 88 of Gabe Butler, who is quite a good pusher to kind of keep him attached onto here. And we're 7 to go this time by KR.
On board with BK Anderson. Looking out the back of it. He is in the fight for this race win. Peter DeBorgia in the 40 just to his outside. Jim Mayer in the 95 now working his way door to door with him. The 33 of Jeff Crosby Jr. in the middle lane. Hanging top in that middle lane. He has had several opportunities to go to the high side or the low side, but he continues to stay right there in the middle lane.
Yeah, you can see the 14 jump up to the middle. I definitely think that the place to be is in the middle tonight, and you have more cars in the middle right now, so definitely that's where you want to be. As I say that, they abandon the middle lane and try to go forward on the bottom. You have the 32 of BK Anderson leading that bottom lane. Now I wonder if he's going to try to jump up to that middle lane, or if he's just going to stick it to the bottom. A lot more aggressive driving as of late, and I would say all of OP. Everybody getting a little bit more comfortable throwing blocks when they need to. Definitely creates interesting races, as we're going to be 5 to go this time by when they hit the stripe, KR, and they are not letting up. The 95 being pushed by the 63, and the 23 coming up there to help him also, as they're coming up on another lap car. It's going to be 5 to go this time by.
on board with the 33, the 14 of Vicente Guerrero just in front of him. Gabe Butler pulling onto pit road. 22 cars, trucks on the lead lap with 5 laps to go. They are coming up on a slower truck. That truck drops down to the inside. Now you got to worry. They drop down to the inside. Are they going to slow down enough? And that is the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds. So you would expect him to be able to slow down and have that heads up move. And he does. And the pack stays 3 wide to try and battle out for this race win.
And they have a clear track ahead of them also. You have a couple people hitting pit road late.
Oh, trouble in the front once again. The 95 up in smoke. Yellow flag comes out. Big time contact for the 95 of Jim Mayer. And it looked like contact with him and his teammate.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can't get a look and see what happened here. Logan Hilton in the 63, Jim Mayer in the 95 through the trioval, and it looks like the 95 just gets loose. Old Dan Harrington in the 82 just came off a pit road and gets rear-ended. He's going, man, what in the heck just happened?
Yeah, that's an unfortunate place. That's the wrong place at the wrong time there, but yeah, you're definitely right, KR. Just Logan's bump through the trioval just got the 95 ever so slightly out of shape, and it just shows you how sensitive these cars can get. And that's going to create a pretty interesting situation for the end of the race here, because you had a couple people sneak out of pit road. I'm not sure if they were laps down or for position, but they might. I wonder if Mark Mann got the lucky dog, possibly.
All right, so BK Anderson in the 32, Jeff Crosby Jr. in the 33. They go down pit road. Man, it looked like Andy Brigante. We got to watch this from Andy Brigante's point of view, because he was just coming off of pit road. And talk about buzzing the tower. Jeez Louise. That 32 came in at Mach 10.
He pretty much would just be along for the ride at that point, you know? He might have got saved by pit road ghosting, possibly. I don't know, but that's an unfortunate spot to have a wreck and be at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, that one was incredibly close.
And KR, I believe that Mark Mann got the lucky dog.
Oh, really?
Yes, I believe so. He is going around to the pit entry. I believe he's not going to hit pit lane because he just came out of the pits. Got a handful of cars in pit lane still. Got the 33 of Jeff Crosby, the 95 of James Mayer, the 63 of Logan Helton. Those were people that were up front who are still sitting in the pits. So I'm wondering if they're getting some damage fixed. Yeah, looks like they are getting some damage fixed, so could be a rough night for them.
Yeah, the 33 just making his way off of pit road.
Yeah, looks like the 33 had about a minute worth of damage, and the 95 still sitting on pit road. It looks like Logan Helton might have put it behind the wall also for the night.
It does look like it has gone behind the wall. So an early exit for Logan Helton. Not a good sign to be behind the wall with the green flags possibly coming out here in the next lap or two.
Not only that, it's our first attempt at our green white checkered right now. So lights are out on the pace car. I believe the 14 is your leader of Vicente Guerrero, and he is going to be accompanied by the 19 of Zach Workman. Row number 2 will be Sebastian Marin, who has fought tooth and nail to get his way back up here. And the 40 of Peter DeBorgia, the 32 of BK Anderson, and the 21 of Daniel Holloway is going to be your row number 3 here. Well, KR, anything's possible here in these last couple laps.
Absolutely. The one thing I say week in and week out about this league is if you want to win the race, when the white flag comes out, you have to be on the lead lap. That's the bare minimum requirement.
And we got 20 of them, so no matter who you are, that white flag comes out, it's checkers or wreckers. Now the real question is, are we going to get a second one?
That is a real question. I don't have a real answer.
I mean, there's only one way to find out. The Chevy Silverado pace truck is going to pull off the track for possibly the final time tonight as we get the green flag, and there's a weird checkup. Somebody did not turn their engine on. Something's going on. Don't know what that is,
like
but
the
that
48 of Andrew Schroeder missed a gear, missed something, slow to take off, but now is underway, but big time loss of pace there. 2 laps to go. If we get to the white flag this time around, that will seal the deal, and we will only have one green white checkered attempt. The 007 making a move to the outside. Vicente Guerrero in the 14. The 19 is Zach Workman trying to be side by side in turns 3 and 4. Travis, here they come for the white flag.
The 19 Zach Workman's going to lead this race going into the white flag as the 007 of Puchanowski Hughes. You're going to lead that outside line. The 14 of Vicente Guerrero being pushed by the 23 Sebastian Marin. Another car jumps into that outside line. That's the 13 of Andy Bergante. It might be too soon or too late for them as they are not making any headway on the back straight here. And KR, we're going to the back straight, and the 19's leading side by side with the 14.
Here they come for the final time down the backstretch. The 19 is Zach Workman battling door to door with the 14 of Vicente Guerrero. Peter DeBorgia in the 40 on the back bumper of the 19. Everything looking very calm and collected as they make their way through 3 and 4. Off of turn number 4, the calm collected. It goes up in smoke like the 32 of BK Anderson. And Zach Workman in the 19 is going to pick up the win. Vicente Guerrero finishes in second, and rounding out the final step of the podium is the 40 of Peter DeBorgia.
What a finish also. That was super tight at the line. 9/1000ths of a second.
Very, very close racing once again here on Wednesday night as OP Racing Grand National Series has a new winner for season number 10. That is the 19 of Zach Workman.
It's a fantastic finish.
Let's go ahead and run down through the results real quick. Zach Workman, Vicente Guerrero, Peter DeBorgia, Sebastian Marin, Dude Conrad, your top 5. Then it's Jeff Crosby, JD Crow, Mark Mann, PJ Cox, BK Anderson in the top 10. Andrew Schroeder, Eric Laurie, Richard Sanchez, Daniel Holloway, and Jimmy Reynolds rounding out your top 15. Bob Lacavera, Jeff Crosby Sr. This guy. We really need him to tell us how to say his name. That's all there is to it. Jim Marin, 19th. 20th goes to Richard Kuhn. Kay Butler, 21st. 22nd goes to Donald Stewart. 23rd is none other than Andy Brigante. Nate Warren, 24th. Dan Harrington, 25th. Stanley Jr., 26th. 27th, Sean Stevens. David Booth, 28th. 29th place is going to go to, that's the 63, Logan Helton. Dave Hunt in the 53, Cody Nagels in the 6th, Donald Sadowski in 32nd, 33rd, Zachary Lyman, Sean McCara 34th, 35th, Joey D, Anthony English 36th, 37th, David Overstreet. That is the last car to take the green flag here tonight. And so, with that being said, Travis, let's kick this off, and why don't you talk to our race winner to kick this thing all off.
So I get the pleasure of interviewing our race winner for the second race of season 10, and that is the actual number 19 on the track of Zach Workman. Zach, how's it feel, man?
It feels great. You know, 2 Mickey winners in a row. We'll take it. We're putting our Mickey Mouse ears on this year, but it feels good. We haven't won here OP in a little bit, so it feels good to always win.
Now, I wouldn't necessarily call this a Mickey win. I mean, you won by 9/1000ths of a second, creating a new time out here. That's how close this was, but it was a hard-fought race there. That last lap, I mean, it was probably fortunate of you to have your have a teammate of Peter DeBorgia help you behind you, pushing and helping you. Gotta go through the course of the race with like the early on wrecks and how that made you kind of change your race throughout the race to get to this point here.
Yeah, we had 2 really early big ones. It's kind of weird. The first one I got through, a lot of people got damaged and used their fast repair, so I knew I was like 1 up on them. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And then the second wreck, I was in the middle lane. I don't know what happened. I think someone hit someone in front of me, and I got squeezed a little bit. Had a minute 15 damage. We weren't too bad. We were kind of rolling around. We could hang with the pack. And then that wreck right before the first stage, I got pile drove by a fucking snowplow. So I was like, oh, well, that's the end of that truck. So I had to repair that. And we were just riding around, just following, trying to get Jeff this win. Jeff's been winless for a while, so I really wanted Jeff to win. I was just kind of rolling bottom, and they wrecked, and I got through somehow. I don't even know if I ghosted or what I did. I just kept bottom and hugged that yellow and had Peter behind me, so appreciate Peter for pushing me to this win.
Well, I mean, definitely was a drag race. It was a fun finish to watch. Also, glad to see you're taking after a good friend of mine named, I believe Kiara's name was Chase Swery, if I believe so correctly. But yeah, it's a great race tonight, man. Good to see you up here getting the win. Do you want to give any shout outs, thank yous to anybody out there, man?
Shout out my friends and family for always watching. They always watch these. Shout out to my girlfriend. She's sleeping on the couch. Shout out to you guys, KR. Every broadcast, I'm just going to say one more swear word to get you slowly canceled and taken off of YouTube. So
Perfect.
Thanks, Travis, for guest broadcasting. You know, we're asking a lot of guys to do the guest broadcasting this year. I know they want to race, but appreciate Travis for stepping up with his big boy pants and wanting to do this. But then I got to thank my team 3. You know, we got the Crosbys in there. We got Sean McCara, who crashed out by lap 15, so he wasn't much help. I got to thank Nate. He was a lap down for like 60% of this, so we didn't have a lot of team up there, but we got it done, and I appreciate those guys for being bodies.
Well, all right, man. We'll move you back down to Team 3. Just ask the Crosbys what they got going on under the hood, because they kind of look like they had a little bit of extra horsepower. But KR, I believe you'll be grabbing our person who is second step on the podium tonight, and I believe that was the 14 of Vicente Guerrero.
I have caught up with the driver who finishes in second place here tonight, and that is none other than Vicente How you doing,
Can't roll
Vicente?
yours. What's up?
Man, oh man, I'll tell you what, I've been waiting for this moment for a while. I get to interview you finally. This number 14 of Budweiser, very fast truck all night long, qualified in the top 10 or close to it. And now you find yourself on the second step of the podium. Nice job out there tonight, Vicente.
Thanks, KR.
Tell us a little bit about your race, what went on, and how you managed to pull it off.
Just try to stay up front at the end of the race here. I picked the outside lane because Seabass was gonna be pushing me, so I was just hoping he would stay and push me. It didn't quite work out as far as winning the race, but I still finished up here. I finished podium second, so can't complain. Been a while.
All right, well, if you can't complain, then I won't ask you to, but a solid second place finish here tonight in the second race of a 22 race season, but 16 races in this regular season before the playoffs kick off. Are you eyeballing a win, or what's your plans here? You going to try and make a playoff run?
I'll try. I mean, it's kind of hard for me, to get from work to here, on a Wednesday, but I will try.
All right, man. Well, nice job here tonight. You brought it home in second place, so congratulations on that. Any shout outs, thank yous you'd like to give?
Yeah, my team, Limitless. Want to shout out to BK and Cody. Uh, Zach was in our Discord too, so shout out to him. Shout out to Seabass there for sticking with me. Much appreciated. Thanks, Seabass. And of course, you guys for broadcasting and OP.
All right, man. Well, nice job again. Congratulations on second place.
Thanks, KR.
There you have it. Vicente Guerrero, your second place podium finishing driver. But now let's move on to our third place finisher, Travis. Not only did he finish in third, but he is our officially stage winner, and you've caught up with Peter DeBorgia.
I did catch up with the 40 car here, or I believe the truck tonight, because we're in the trucks, KR. Don't know when we're gonna make that. We're gonna fix that. We'll never fix it. No. But Peter, we interviewed you earlier, man, for stage, and pretty good, pretty solid night in the points wise. Let us know how your race was going, start to finish. Just tell us everything.
It was great. You were right. You definitely interviewed me earlier for the stage. We had a great conversation then. One of the best interviews I've had. I recommend everyone going back and listening to it. But now I started in the back and just wanted to avoid the carnage, and we did. And then we caught ourselves with a pretty good track position there after that cycle of green flag pit stops, and surrounded ourselves with cars that were friendly and happened to steal the stage. And late in the race, it's all about track position at Daytona, especially in the trucks. It just seems so hard for the third lane to actually clear. And you could just drive side by side for seemingly lap after lap after lap. And I was pushing Jeff, and I really wanted him to get up there all the way. And a couple of times there, he just drifted a little high or low, I think, to get a side draft. And the car in the second lane or the second row wasn't very conducive for me to follow Jeff there. And we got shuffled back, and I was like, all right, I guess we're getting a top 10. And then everything spun around in front of us, and we were right back in the thick of it, lined up with Workman, and we've worked with him a billion times. So I knew exactly what he wanted from me there at the end, and where he'd be running and where the best bumps were going to help us out. I just feather in my cap, I guess. I outpushed Sebastian Marin at a super speedway track, so that's pretty cool.
It seemed like Team 3 was definitely working well tonight. Definitely was a good points night for you. How you think you're going to fare for the rest of the season? I know it's only race number 2, but how do you think your odds are going to be for the beginning of the year?
I've never been in this position before. I've never even been close to a regular season championship in my life. So just starting out like this hot is kind of insane. And I would trade the second and the third for a win and a 30th, like right now, and give all my stage points away, because I already promised KR, or I might have to back out, but I hope I don't have to, that I would do the last 3 regular season races in the booth. And I thought it would be really cool to be able to showcase the playoff bubble and let everyone see where the points stand and whatnot. And those sort of graphics and things are something I like to do. So I thought that would be a really cool opportunity. And the more points I score now, the easier I will feel as we approach the end of the season.
Well, with the momentum that you're carrying, last week getting that P2, and then this week getting a P3, I think definitely that'd be a. I think it'll fare pretty well for the rest of the season, man. Just keep it up, and we'll see you next week.
I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much.
Hey, you want to give any shout outs, thank yous, anybody out there?
For sure, you guys, absolutely. Especially Travis, man. If I don't know if he'd be so excited to jump up there if he didn't get the win last week. But yeah, good job on that win, and thanks for being in the booth and helping KR out up there and just giving new voices there. I love how so many drivers have stepped up to the plate to volunteer to do that. All the admins are putting everything on and organizing. And I know it's kind of silly season between Mondays and trucks, so they're really busy doing a whole lot of stuff. And we still were able to, amongst all that craziness and Monday night and the stress that goes with that, we had 40 people in the field tonight. So really awesome to see all that many drivers turn out. And yeah, Gabe, Eric, JD, Dude, and Donald were running with us tonight. And we had a really good time. It was Wednesday night, just a little bit more chill, and everyone seems to have a good bit of fun. Oh, and Dan Harrington too ran with us first Wednesday in a real long time for him. I think he's going to try and pick up a whole lot more of those, and we love seeing that 82 out on the track.
All right, Peter, real quick. You said you love seeing him out on track, but he got rear-ended coming off a pit road.
I mean, I didn't see it, so I saw him out on track. That was fine.
I hear that is the thing. I hear if you do not see it, it did not happen.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Peter, thank you very much. And yes, your stage 1 interview will go down in history as the best one ever. So nice job overall here tonight.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
That is Peter DeBorgia finishing on the third step of the podium. And Travis, well, this one is said and done. So as the race winner last week and the guest commentator this week, I'm going to let you sign us out.
Well, thank you for letting me do that honor. Thank you everybody for joining Turn 3 tonight for the Crosby Family 175. We hope to see you next week at what I believe is Talladega. I don't know.
I do believe so.
I don't make the schedule. I just show up. But hope you all have a good night, and we'll see you next Wednesday.